Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Francis Zuniga, Doctor of Physical Therapy, and so today I wanted to focus on just talking about what inspired me to start this channel. So I do home health physical therapy, and you kind of never really know what you're going into when you go to people's homes, but you know, the goal is to do the best you can and to provide the best care you can. And so I have, been coming across a lot of complicated cases that involve what we call max assist, where you have to do, 75% or more physical force to assist patients. And as a physical therapist, every now and then you might feel a little ache here and there after you do a movement or after you transfer somebody, but it goes away, so no big deal. So same thing for me, I did a transfer with a patient, sofa to chair to sofa, sit to stands, chair to toilet, back and forth. And as I was walking out, I felt something in my back, but I was like, oh, it's probably just, something, just the usual ache, but it'll go away. But it didn't in my case. It got worse, and came the weekend, it was getting hard for me to walk. So I ended up taking some ibuprofen over the counter to kind of alleviate some of the pain that I was having. And after I took it the next day, I felt a lot better. But as I was doing my everyday exercise routine, I got worse and I lost my ability to walk. My knees buckled, and it was very scary because I went from, working out from walking to having so much pain that I went down on the floor. I couldn't roll to my side. I couldn't go on all fours. I had to have somebody help me, and it was just very scary. Fast forward, a lot happened, but fast forward, I went to the ER, and they couldn't do like an MRI because it was too soon. They needed for the inflammation to go down. But eventually I was scheduled to have an MRI a week later, and the results were that I had a tear in my vertebra with a bulging disc, which explained completely all my symptoms. And so let me see here. I have I have a few photos I want to show you guys. I don't know if it's going to show properly on the camera, but I'm kind of old school and I'm like a paper person. But this is your vertebra, okay? So this right here is just one vertebra. And so I have what we call a fissure or a tear to mine. So it kind of looks like that. And so that's what happened to me. Okay. So I ended up getting a tear in my vertebra, or what we call the, this is your annulus here. Okay. And this in here is called your nucleus pulposus, which is just a soft gelatinous, portion of the vertebra, which kind of helps decrease any impact, like jumping, any high intensity stuff. So what I did, not only did I end up having a tear to my vertebra, but I actually ended up getting a bulging disc. So the gelatinous part kind of squeezed out a little bit, and what that looks like is here. So if you look at here, it's probably showing backwards now that I think about it, but this is your whole entire vertebrae, right? So you have the disc here, right? And so this is like a normal, beautiful disc looks like. This is more degenerated, like you can see it's kind of wearing out. And this is what happened to me, a bulging disc. So it kind of started to squeeze out a little bit. And so what was happening was that I was having so much pain, and I think the inflammation made me very unable to do activities of everyday life for me. And I'll go into that a little bit more. And then a herniated disc is when like, obviously it comes out a lot more and it starts pinching a nerve, which calls to like, or affects your nerve, which would then cause what we call sciatica, which a lot of people have, okay? They'll have like, you'll hear about people saying, oh, I have pain that goes down my leg or down to my thigh or down to my buttocks, etc. So that's what's happening. That disc has come out and it's pinching the nerve. And now the nerve is what we call pissed off, right? And it's irritated, so it's gonna cause pain that's radiating down your leg. And then this is just like a thinning disc that's just thinner and not normal to a healthy disc. And so for me, you know, it was very painful. I would say I was probably having a 9 out of 10, I would say. I wouldn't quote it at 10 because I'm sure there's other pain, but for me, it was probably been the worst pain I've ever been in. And I have, you know, torn ligaments in my ankle. I've had wrist surgery, but that pain was like unbearable. And wow, like I do not wish that kind of pain. And it was actually scary for me. Like as soon as I had that pain, because I couldn't move my legs, I was like, the first thing that came to my mind, am I paralyzed? And that to me was very scary. So many thoughts going through my mind. I'm like, I'm a physical therapist. This is my work. I love what I do. Am I going to be able to continue to do what I do? How am I going to get up from this floor? Like so many thoughts were going through my mind and it was so scary. But you know, God is good, and I had so many people that were able to help me. Somebody drove me to the ER and etc. So, you know, as soon as I got discharged from the hospital, you know, I couldn't tolerate sitting down. I could not tolerate lying down. I could not tolerate, everything hurt. Sleeping hurt. I couldn't find a comfortable position. My husband had to help me scoot. He would get me in bed. I was screaming in pain. And then he would have to like, you know, like whenever he would lie me down in that position, he had to like scoot me in because I couldn't even bridge or slide or nothing. I was in so much pain. And, you know, that really humbled me because I was like, wow, I can't do any of this. So I couldn't do anything. I couldn't take showers by myself. I could not feed myself because I couldn't tolerate sitting. And if I did sit, which didn't happen till probably day 4, I was in a wheelchair and I had to like decompress or take some of that pressure off of my spine by, you can't see in the video, but like I had to like lift my arms like this to take some of that pressure off. Because if you look at this picture, all these guys right here, if I allowed the pressure, it would just push that in, compress it, and cause that little guy right here to come out and create even more pain. At this time, I still did not know what my injury was. I just knew I was in a lot of pain, and every time I would decompress my spine, it would alleviate my pain. But as soon as I would let go, that pinching sensation was so severe. So I was thinking I had like probably like a herniated disc, you know, but I wasn't having any radiating pain. So I'm like, maybe it's just a really bad tear in my back or something, you know. So I was like, okay, let's just do whatever I can. So the first 3 days, I couldn't really do anything on my own, but I would try to wiggle my toes. I started doing some like ankle pumps, just moving my ankles up and down to kind of alleviate or get some blood flow going. I couldn't even slide my heel into bed. So I will talk about what I did, you know, the first few days and etc. But I was pretty debilitated after I injured my back, and it was very scary, like I said. So anyway, so I was like, great. So I go to the physiatrist, the specialist, about, I think it was like around week 2. And then, you know, he says, you know, you're young, but this type of injury can take anywhere from 2 months to 18 months to heal. We'll have to see how your body heals itself so that you can, you know, resume 100% of your recovery. But obviously for somebody that's very active and young, for me, I was like, it's obviously very scary, and you're like, you're thinking worst case scenario, at least for me. So I was like, 2 years. Oh no. I'm like, no. So obviously I was like devastated, but I was like, no, I got this. I'm gonna do everything that I can to continue to get better. And so I started doing more and more and more stuff to whatever I could do, and each week got better. And I'm now on week 4, and I'm walking now without any assistive devices, but I'm still in pain. And that's why I created this channel, because I just want to talk about my personal experience and what helped me overcome my injury. And you know, I plan to get back to 100%. Being a physical therapist is my passion. I love what I do, and it was scary to realize, wow, like this could affect my passion. You know, like I love doing home health. Of course, I could go to outpatient where I don't have to necessarily lift any patients, but that's my little thing. You know, that's my passion. My love is at home health. But anyways, you know, every job has pros and cons, and unfortunately that's something that comes with mine. And so yes, so that's what happened. So my goal moving forward is just to continue talking about my recovery in the next few videos that I'll be making, and what helped me you know, from day 1 up until now and moving forward. So if my experience can be helpful to somebody else, then great. I am happy. I want to do something good with my time off right now. And so that is primarily my goal, just to educate and, you know, give people hope that it can get better. Obviously there's case scenarios that are obviously more severe, but you know, particularly for me, it seems like things are going to get better. And so for those that are in a similar situation, then I want to be of help to them. And you know, maybe later on we can talk about other case scenarios, but for now this is going to be my primary focus, just discussing my recovery process. And that way I can be of help to somebody. Even if it's just one person, I'll be overjoyed. So if you guys have any questions, any comments, any feedback, please leave it in the comments. Subscribe. You could share it with somebody that you think might be helpful to. And yes, thank you for taking the time to listen to this video. All right, take care. Bye.